They succeed because they think they can. Virgil, my friends, think you can succeed because you can do this. Don't worry about how long it takes. Stick with it 10 to 15 minutes each and every day following these charts. That is all we ask. Let's jump into the charts today. We see everything up but Bitcoin. Gold, the big winner today. First, let's jump into the S&P 500. It's about flat. It's showing a 0.05, 5/10 of 1%. So again, not much. So it was up in the morning a little bit, falling back in the afternoon. We do see green when we look down at the half day, but of course that's just the half day. But as we start the week off, we can see that we have a candle far below where things were last week. Now, where that might go, because it's a little doji right now, I don't know. On the 2-day chart, which represents Friday and Monday, we can see below average volume, and we just have a green candle there with a little wick on top. Again, we'll continue to watch, wait and see. We, of course, had a big down week last week. Don't know where that is going to end up taking us. Again, lots of downward pressure. I would think down. And again, we look at where we are with the 2-day. We're well below the weekly trend line on the 2-day candle, and we're below it nicely on the half day, and it looks like it's slowing down. So we'll see how the week shapes up as we get into Tuesday. About the same thing, a little bit more movement up, not much. 0.22%, not 0.05%, so 0.2%. So what do we see going on there? We see, again, a little doji forming below the trend line at this point. On the weekly, of course, on the 2-day, again, similar kind of candle. And on the half day, up in the morning, pulling back some in the afternoon. So markets aren't surging at this point. No way are they surging up or down. Again, you've got all sorts of people out there, all sorts of entities that are trying to figure out how to keep this market from crashing and what they can do to drive it up, and don't give up on them. They'll try to do any and everything they can by hook, or you might call it crook. We'll see as we move forward in time, but there is definitely a lot of pressure to keep pushing the market down. What about bonds? They are up 0.36%, but of course we can see where we're now way down off where we hammered up. Again, hitting this little ceiling that we put in here with this purple line. We saw that it stopped the week beginning the 29th of July. Things moved up the wick right up to the top, and then did not penetrate. The next week, though, the candle didn't penetrate, but the wick did. But this week, well below, but above that weekly trend line. We'll see how the week continues to develop. 0.36%, not much of an up day on Monday. A real blow off on the 2-day candles, but we have gone back to green. And we look at where we are on the half day, and it's riding just above that weekly trend line after 1, 2, 3 days of hammering down movement. That was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of last week. Friday started moving up a little bit up on Monday. We'll see which way that goes. What about gold? Gold, like I said, is our big winner today. Look at where we are. We are pushing through. A candle is pushing through. Now, this is just the first day of a weekly candle. Again, not super volume here, but we do see the candle pushing through that ceiling that, has been there for what, 3-4 times now, pushing through it. So we'll see how the week continues to go. It's looking good for gold. And again, we look at the 2-day, we can see, in fact, this candle, we had a couple of prior candles push through. It's got a little ways to go to meet the one on the 16th of July, but pushing up nicely. Now, it may burn back off, but look at the hammering up in the morning and the afternoon, just blasting through in the afternoon, that former ceiling. So we'll keep an eye on things, see where they go. What we might have to do in the end is move this ceiling up a little bit. We'll continue to watch, wait and see. But gold moving in the right direction. Again, hard to sort of tell. We had gold was up and then a doji on the week of the 22nd of July. A spinning top the next week, and then a doji the following week, the 5th of August. And then this week trying to move up. We'll see what gold is going to do. Lastly, Bitcoin. Bitcoin down 2.72%. Of course, last week, a hammer down time on Bitcoin. This week, starting off higher than it was, we can draw ourselves a little trend line here and see how that works out for us and see if, in fact, it lengthens going down as the week goes along. We can see where the half day moved up to that trend line and now is sort of bleeding off of it. We've got a 2-day candle that is a little bit of a spinning top. Looks a lot like what we saw with the S&P and the NASDAQ 100. Again, they had similar 2-day candles. We'll see how that continues to develop throughout the course of the week. But Bitcoin, a big downer for the day, 2.72%. We are still short on it. That is where we are, folks. Thank you so much for being with us. Always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. God bless.